Hello, I'm Subcreation. Welcome to my channel. My mission here is to create amazing art, but I'll settle for creating any art at all. At the very least, I'll share my creative process and hopefully inspire you in your own efforts. Lately, I've been working through a series of white charcoal drawings, which I have here. I can show you. It's upside down actually because it's a bat. Should go. Oh, actually, it was upside right, and I have this stack upside wrong. So here's the bat that I did. There's a tiger, and this one's upside down, and a panther. Oh, and I did for the fauna focus group. Boy, these are all mixed up. I did this drawing of a pine marten. So those are the drawings I've done so far. Boy, I really need to do some fixative on it. But today we're going to be continuing work on this betta fish, which you can kind of see in the light. Here, let me pull it back. I've got it outlined in black pencil, so it kind of shines, but hopefully won't show up too much in the final drawing. So that is what we are doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and hello Catlin, thanks for joining. Glad I showed up there. It was strange. It looked like I was unintentionally running a looked like I was accidentally running a rerun or something. I remember doing that fly drawing. Hey, Tiny Pachyderm, welcome. So I'm just continuing, picking up right where I left off when you guys last saw, I think. So I'm going to be working on, oh, this is kind of the wrong place. Move it here so I can see, and hopefully it still works. Okay. So how are you guys doing? How are your days? What have you been up to? Did you continue work on your hyena, Tiny Pachyderm? Or were you occupied with work all day? Just got home, and I'm now shoving pita pit. Ah, sounds good. Sounds tasty. Wait, what is pita pit? Is that the name of a? Is that a food, or is that like a restaurant? The name of the kind of food? I'm not familiar. Oh, okay. Subway. Like Subway, but for pitas. All right. That sounds good. Oh yeah, gyros sound really good. I like gyros. I had a sandwich. It's pretty good. Tasty sandwich. All right, those look like the important details of the eye. So what I usually do is I start with the eyes and I work out from there because I feel like the eyes establish the emotional center of the image, or the focal point, and I kind of want to figure that out and sort of have a sense of that first. So like in design, if I'm working on a product, I oftentimes will try to figure out what the most important part of that product is, what the sort of essential, like the essence, the core of it is, and I'll usually design that and test that first if I can, so I have some feeling for what what the core experience is like. Sort of like similar, like heard that some game designers, when they create a game, they start out with the core game mechanic. They build just the essential game mechanic for the experience that they're creating, and then they build out from that. So I think that's kind of similar to what I'm doing. He said, sorry, I'm missing some conversation. There aren't a ton of places nearby that are open this time of on a Sunday. And I need to grocery shop tomorrow. That's what I did today. I was doing some grocery shopping earlier. And there is a good Euro place. It's kind of a ways from my house, but I like it. My weekend's been pretty good. Actually, I had a lot of yeah, doing your errands. So I did. That was the grocery shopping I did. Actually, I was deterred in my errands because I had a flat tire and I had to deal with that. And then what else happened? Oh, you probably don't want to hear all my woes. There was yeah, that was a bummer. But I'm here and I'm streaming now, so that's what matters. I'm able to create art now. I can share them if I want. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's not just the woes part of it. Well, basically, I found out that my youngest had head lice. It's not just the woes part of it. It's the unpleasant thought. Anytime I hear about such a thing, I think automatically you get, oh, hey, welcome, Miss Kitten. Yeah, the beta fish. I was starting this one in the last stream, and I'm just working on it now. Yeah, it was a bummer. The reason I feel bad is because I can tell every time I tell somebody about it, they start, like, it kind of makes your skin crawl, and then people start scratching their heads, and it's not fun. Hey, welcome, Dom Kizzle. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Oh, wow. Bit of an uptick here. Seems like I've got a few visitors. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I think this needs to be a little bit brighter here. Hi, Lulu. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm just continuing on the beta fish that I started last time. I don't know if you guys have been following all the Drawing on Black series I've been doing, which actually coincides with Kit Slam started working on Black too. Of course, he's doing color on Black, which is a lot more challenging. Oh, Lucy's taken off. Good night. Thanks for stopping in. I'm struggling to see where that indication is there. I think it's right here. About there. Oh, thanks for hosting, Miss Kitten. I really enjoy that. Really appreciate that. I mean, you see my new, that's a fairly new animation I have up there. So you get to be one of the, not the first, but one of the early people to see that, especially for hosting. don't know if anybody, probably no one here saw it, but a while ago I did an entire stream on trying to brainstorm ideas for how I would, for essentially those animations that would appear there when people follow and everything. And I came up with a lot of different ideas, but ultimately I decided to just go with the that spark effect was something that I created when I was doing art from code, and that was created using JavaScript and WebGL. It's a particle system. Kind of pencils. Oh, Prismacolor. Those are pretty good. Except spelled right. Oh. Yeah, oh, you know what? It's too quiet here because I have not started the music. Let me pull up the music. Yeah, how do you like those Prismacolor pencils? I saw, if those are what you were working with earlier today, it looked like they were really working out for you. You had some really nice detail in that face on that hyena. Looked really good. You were frustrated? Why? I was trying out some wax-based color pencils lately, and I actually was pretty frustrated myself. It was because I didn't quite understand how lightly you have to push, how much you have to really sort of build up more over time. Yeah, it's the layering that I didn't quite figure out. It took me a little bit of time to. Actually, I need to go back and see. And now that I've been watching Kid Slam, and I think I see what he's doing a little bit better. At first I thought he was pushing really hard because I saw he kept getting all those little bits of pencil on the paper, and so I thought he must have been pushing hard for it to chip off like that. So when I tried to do it, I was pushing too hard. But then when I asked him about it, or somebody asked him about it, he said that he was pushing very lightly, and so. Oh yeah, it was Catlin who asked. Honestly, it was remembering Kid Slam talking about the layers and blending that kept me going. Without hearing that a few days ago, I probably would have scrapped the whole thing. Yeah, what I did is I pushed really hard and I immediately ruined all of the paper I was working with was printer paper, so it didn't have very good tooth in the first place. And then I pushed really hard and I couldn't do anything with it. It was not fun. I think I need to order some of that special paper that lets you do it, lets you build it up better. Boy, I feel like I'm really just barely making progress here. I need to speed up because I was hoping to finish this tonight. That might be too ambitious, but I'm kind of trying to strike the balance between going. Usually I'm trying to go as fast as I can because I want to cover a lot of ground, and I feel like developing skills partly about, improving, your speed a little bit. But tonight also I'm trying to stick to a tighter schedule of I'm going to try to do 2 hours, 2-hour streams, not run over so much. Rafines. Is that another brand of color pencils, Catlin? Okay. Is that also wax based? Yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is that I end up staying up too late, and then yeah, it affects the. Also, I think the system wants you to stream more often and not as long, because I won't be able to. I'm not hitting the specs that they want for partner, but I could if I streamed more days a week for less time. Not that I expect to make partner, but I figure if I don't get into a routine that hits the specs that they're requiring, then I definitely won't. And more importantly, I won't be able to keep up on this if I'm too gung ho, if I can't make it fit into my life better. So I just made affiliate. I am an affiliate as of, I think, was it either Monday or Tuesday of last week. Thanks. Yeah, it was exciting. It happened faster than I thought. I was kind of thinking, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. It'll be a few more months. And with the flurry of raids that I got from Kit Slam and Critter Art, it definitely happened a lot sooner than I expected. Yeah. So that means that I owe people an emote. I had my first subscriber on Wednesday, I think it was. Russell Stewart was my first subscriber, and so now I owe emote. Trying to figure out what it should be. I did previously design a self-caricature, so I thought I might just use that. But I also I hear that it's a good rule to design an emote that you would use yourself, that you'd like to use yourself, and the emote I'd like to have the most would be a lurk emote. It's just that it wouldn't be very fun to spam a lurk emote when you're raiding, so I thought maybe something more unique. I started streaming just a little under 3 months ago. So I think my first stream was December 6th. And it was slow going for a bit there, but I picked up pretty quick after I got a little more connected, and particularly with the raids and getting to know people on Kit Slam's channel. There's a pretty good tight community there, and so once I got a little more embedded into that helped a lot. You guys, obviously, you all know, talking about you basically. It's been a lot of fun though. In the past, I'd been active on some other channels, but some of the people I found, because I found them through the top of the stream, it's the people that have like a bigger following, and it's harder to meet people there, get to know a lot of them. It's just a larger crew. Like I've been following and I've been a subscriber for Gregory Peppo for quite a while. Actually, for a long time, since before I started streaming myself. And who else? I follow some of the science and technology streamers, like Auroral Games, some people who do basically level building and some development. Boy, I'm really going slowly though. That's all right though. If this needs to continue into next to the next stream, that'll be fine. Also, I joined Fauna Focus, which is a team. That's been fun. Mrs. Kitten wrote, I just got into watching Twitch streams a few weeks ago. Love watching art streams before bed. Yeah, it can be pretty relaxing. Well, I'm a weekend myself. I've been so inspired to do art. I love the friends I've made so far. Yeah, same here. It's been really cool. I think the inspiration is one of the best parts of it, and also even for my own stream too. The fact that I have like an obligation to sit down and create. It's been nice. It's one of those things where sometimes there's some nights where I sit down to stream, and I feel like, oh no, I don't have energy for this. I don't want to do this tonight. But I'm like, nope, I'm obligated. I've got the schedule up there and people are expecting me. I at least imagine that people imagine you're expecting me to show up. And so I sit down and I start streaming, and it's once I get into it, sometimes it's a little bit of a slog at first. But once I get into it, I get into the flow, and I'm really glad that I did. So thanks for being out there, making me feel obligated to make something. Dom Kissel said he jumped on Twitch about 2 months ago. So we're all fairly new. I actually first started checking out Twitch. It was last summer. My daughter said that she wanted to do a stream, and so I thought, I better check this out. She was thinking about doing just doing games like Slither.io, I think is the thing that she wanted to do. So I watched a little bit back then and started to kind of get the inkling to do it myself, and started to plan a little bit what I would do. I kind of made it too big of a project and put it off for a while. But it didn't get really active until recently, and started meeting people when Kit Slam raided my channel a few weeks back. I've only been watching, but a friend of mine who streams messaged me out of the blue and suggested I start streaming. So I started checking out the art scene on Twitch. So are you thinking about streaming? I don't know if I follow a little bit of the stuff people post on GitSlam's Discord, but I don't remember if I saw any work from you, Dom Kizzle. You're about to start. Cool. I'll look forward to seeing that. Oh wait, you the one that was just talking about that in the? Yeah, you were. I remember that now. My brain is just. Yeah. Okay. So I had a feeling I might have seen something. That's why I was hesitant to ask. But that's right. I remember you were just talking about it in the stream over there. So my memory is. Well, you'll see it yourself when you get on stream. It can be a little disorienting. But yeah, you were saying you're about to start that. You're waiting for a new computer, right? I know Tiny Pachyderm is about to receive a new computer as well, specifically for streaming. That's exciting. Did you guys get laptops, or are you getting towers or desktops? My setup's a desktop because that was the only way to get the VR stuff I did. Oh, laptop, nice. Yeah, it definitely is a little more flexible when you can move it around. I got a desktop because it was the only way to get the specs I needed to be able to do the VR setup that I was doing at the time, which was long before I was thinking about streaming. Right, waiting on a new PC. My current one is old. So PC being a desktop computer? Yeah, I meant to rewatch my vid from earlier. I still can't believe my little computer on Wi-Fi lasted as long as it did. Oh, that's right. That was one of the problems you had, Tiny Pachyderm, is that your laptop that you currently have doesn't even have an Ethernet connection. Yeah, you definitely want to go with Ethernet for sure. Makes a big difference. I've had far fewer problems. Yeah, you get a better cost for better value for cost with the desktop, I think. Because I'll use a different name on KitSlam's Discord. That may be why you didn't see his artwork. Oh, okay. Who are you on Discord, Dom Kizzle? What's your handle there? For me, it's kind of challenging to follow conversations across so many channels. Dizzle. Yeah. That's funny. And no, like it was like at work we use Slack, which is sort of similar to Discord, and that's been a tough adjustment for me. I'm used to having everything in email, and I know how to find what I need in email. Oh, Garth Vader, yeah. So I have seen your stuff on there. Cool. I'll go back and check that out again now that I can place the name with the other name. Boy, I'm really just dragging along slowly here. Gotta step it up. Oh, aha. I was looking for you in here, Dom, because I saw your comment or art or something, and I was like, you gotta follow them. But this explains why I couldn't find you. Yeah. I feel like I'm learning a lot from watching KitSlam. I can see in the work I'm doing right now, even though it is going a lot more gradually than anything I was doing before, I'm building up much more gradually over time, kind of like working out the overall light of the whole space before I go in and do the texture and the detail over it. And what I'm working on right now with the scales on this fish are fairly similar to the subject he's doing with the scales on that snake. I started Discord and Twitch at different times so my names don't sync up. My name's gonna change in another 2 months because I didn't really expect to be so involved in Twitch so easily. Oh yeah. You're gonna give it a little more thought, pick out a name that you want. I've used Subcreation for I don't know, like a little over probably over 10 years now on a number of different platforms, so I don't even really think about it anymore. Just change it to match other social media, yeah, that can help. So Tiny Pachyderm is sort of your anonymous ID. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so there's this happening here. I can't build that up. That was strange. Right before I went on, there was a rerun playing that I didn't think I'd set up. I thought my rerun queue was empty, and I certainly didn't start it, so I don't know what happened there. That was strange. I wonder if there's a bug or something on the platform. Did anyone else see that? I guess you probably wouldn't have known if it didn't, because it didn't notify me. It usually notifies me when I'm live. But I saw it was me drawing it was my Sharpie drawings. Oh, is that so? Because you can use different names across the channels, huh? Oh, cool. Well, I'll see you there then. go. So I'm trying to establish that it's a little bit of a scale pattern happening there. Looks a little more random than a scale pattern though. A little rougher, I guess. Not as uniform. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see, I'm gonna pull up. Oops, sorry. You know what I need is my chat view on the computer so I don't have to keep. Doesn't seem to be doing it. Oh, there. Start up. We'll see if that's working in a second. All right. Back to this in here. So you guys do any other art forms? Do you do music or maybe any musicians out there? I did one stream on the music performance channel, but it was from my phone, so the recording didn't stick very well. Oh, Guitar Catlin, nice. Dom Kissel's dabbled in color pencils and bass guitar. Oh, cool. So we just find a drummer. We've got a band, I think. I can do keyboard. Tiny Spectrum said, I sometimes experiment with other art mediums, but they're usually just messing around. I give it up after a few tries. Sometimes do fluid painting, but it's super messy and kind of expensive if I mess up. Fluid painting is that like when you use paint where you're pouring it onto the I don't know, like I've seen some things online where they just pour paint and then they'll pour paint on top of it. It ends up having a very fluid look. Is that what you're describing there? It sounds like it would be potentially very messy. Just kidding, I can play the saxophone, but haven't played in 6 years because my apartment building is not soundproof. Everyone would hear you play. I played saxophone in high school. Still have an alto around here somewhere, but I played tenor saxophone in band and in jazz band. I also played trumpet and a little bit of French horn. I actually do have a French horn now. Well, I bought my daughter a French horn that she doesn't use, so it's available to me. Yep, I use acrylic mixed with water, and I drop a drop or two of silicone in clear Elmer's glue. Oh, that's cool. I'd like to see some of that. See it on maybe your Instagram or something. I didn't notice that on Instagram, but I could go back and look. Maybe I didn't know what I was looking at. Then they all get put into one cup together, and I flip that cup over onto a canvas and let it spread over. Oh yeah, that's cool. Tom Kislak played trumpet in middle school. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like trumpet. I like the sound of the trumpet most of all the instruments. I like saxophone, but I love the trumpet. This one has an alto and a soprano sax. Oh. It's too bad you can't play in your apartment, though. Maybe they wouldn't mind. Maybe they'd enjoy it. I think I probably have them on my other instas. Oh. Well, and I miss being around musicians. Yeah. I haven't played as much, mostly due to the kids. The kids are very kind of grabby when I play the guitar. If I'm playing the piano, they come up and start hitting it. Probably should just push through it and play anyway, but sometimes it can be kind of distracting if you can't really get through anything. They enjoy it though, so I suppose that's enough reason to keep doing it. Just too many things to do, I guess. My one neighbor works weird times, and I think he sleeps some during the day. Oh yeah, you have to be considerate of the day sleepers. Alright, I think I'm going to try to get the tones maybe all the way through here, and then I'll start working on those scales. What about writing? Do you guys do any writing at all? It's another art form. Oftentimes people who write don't do. Oftentimes people are sort of, there's like the left brain, right brain thing, and people are kind of either more into visual art or sort of literary. I'm actually a bit of a writer and on the visual side. Oh, you're a writer too, Tiny Pachyderm. That's awesome. I write a variety of stuff. Last time I was really writing seriously, like trying to write, I was working on novels, or more like novellas. I was writing for my kids and doing sort of like middle grade science fiction. So that was kind of fun. Did a story for my son that was about a ninja robot that was fighting space pirates. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then for my daughter, I did a story about cats, about a girl who's a scientist that figured out how to project herself into a cat so she could hang out with her cat friends and talk with them and stuff. Well, actually, that's sort of what happens, but, well, anyway, she doesn't do it necessarily intentionally. It's kind of, some of it's kind of accidental, and she ends up finding herself stuck in a cat body. Because I'm not much of a writer, but I write sort of a blog about my paintings on my website. Oh, cool. What's your website? You can post it if you want. I think I turned off the link blocking. Tiny Pachyderm said, I've written a couple sci-fi short stories, but never went back to revise them. I mostly write creative and nonfiction and poetry. Oh, cool. Do you post it online, like at like on Medium or what are the good? I don't know. I used to work in this space at Amazon, so we actually had a platform for publishing fiction. I'm forgetting what the other platforms were. It was like at Wattpad, I guess. Wattpad was sort of the big one. Oh, thanks for sharing, Dom Kizzle. Let me check it out. Oh, you post to literary magazines. That's cool. I was thinking about trying to. Oops, the link went to my wrong browser. I don't know why the Edge browser is trying to capture that stuff. Pull this up though here. Oh, cool. Oh, wow, these are beautiful. Very cool. I'll see you do landscapes. Very cool. I really like this stuff. Is your Instagram listed here? I should be following you. Oh, yeah, it is. I should be following you on Instagram for sure. That's awesome. There's a picture of you there with your Bob Ross hair. Oh, very cool. I'm glad you shared this. It's really neat. I was thinking of doing some landscapes later on after I get, because I want to do something with color, and it seems like a landscape would be a good way to do that. Oh, these are really neat. Do you paint like in the setting, or take photographs, or find photographs online like what I'm doing right now? Tiny Backroom said, I also run a literary magazine, but submissions are on hold since I and the two other editors are all in grad school. Oh yeah, I bet that would keep you busy. Well, Miss Kitten 22, lots of writers are horrible spellers. That's what editors are for. Yeah. What did I miss? Miss Kitten said, I'm a horrible speller, so writing isn't for me. But I love to read. Well, that's really how people learn to write, is by reading. That's the process in a nutshell, as I understand it. Yeah, that's, in fact, now I remember, Tiny Pocket Room, you were asking on my previous channels if people do writing on here, and we looked into it and saw that there was a writing section. So we've already talked about this. I knew that you were into writing. See, I'm it's a little slow to piece things back together sometimes. I remember it now, though, that we had that conversation. It's a problem with getting old. You forget what you know. See, so that's going to be kind of... I haven't really done much writing in a while. Well, I've been doing all more like work-related writing. I've done some articles that are like tech-related, more profession-related, a little bit of writing for my professional portfolio, my website. So I paint by following Bob Ross episodes, and that's how I learn. Then I take the knowledge and I apply it to photos I take or photos online I find. Oh, so those are, some of those are from actually following along with Bob Ross. So are you thinking, when you do your stream, are you thinking of doing co-streaming with Bob Ross? Because that's something that I was interested in trying out. Lit mags don't often get a ton of great art submission, just a heads up. Are you saying there's a opportunity there if you want to submit? Are you saying for submitting visual art to the literary magazines, or are you saying if you're submitting like artistic writing to the literary magazines? I actually did have a plan for a while to develop some short stories, science fiction stories, and start submitting those to science fiction magazines. But I just have too many things going on, and I never really was able to execute that plan. Although I do have a short story that was ready to submit. I wanted to do cover art for it, so I'd submit it with art, and I thought that'd maybe give it a bit of a boost, but I'd give it more of a chance. But I got partway through the painting and then I lost the momentum. You don't often get paid for them, but it's pretty neat to see artwork that otherwise might only ever just stay in the sketchbook. Oh, so you're talking about visual art, yeah. Submitting visual art. Oh yeah, if I just read the next line. My plan is to paint Bob Ross paintings on stream, but not by watching at the same time. Or I might just paint from photos. Depends on where you want to submit. Yeah. Well, I think the I don't know, like since Bob Ross's channel is all reruns, there isn't any way you can get engagement really with him, so I'm not sure if it would make sense to co-stream. But I was thinking about doing it just for the novelty of like following along as he's doing a painting. And then in my case, instead of doing it as a painting, I was thinking of doing it as a VR sculpture. So doing a landscape as a sculpture. It's something I've dabbled with a little bit, and it seemed really promising. I was pretty excited about the results I got when I was doing the monster project. I did the setting there, and I've done a couple other ones where I've done scenery, and it was a lot of fun. If you ever decide you want to submit your stuff, let me know and I'll help you navigate its journals, lit journals, some aspect of traditional publishing. Are you talking about submitting literary writing, or you're still talking about submitting drawings or art? I'm imagining that would be fun. I would actually want to submit. I don't know. I haven't tried my hand at like literary writing. Most of my stuff has been a bit more poppy, but I would like to try my hand at it at some point. Doing more like literary writing. Or what about poetry? Do they take poetry at all? One thing I kind of wanted to experiment with was doing some sort of surrealist poetry. I like surrealist poetry. Hey, welcome Mshav. Thanks. It's starting to develop, I think. I don't know. I'm taking it kind of slow, learning from KidSlam and developing it more gradually. Both submitting writing, including genre, pop fiction, or art. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely like to know more about that. That would be really cool. Like, yeah. Dude, there are hundreds of lit journals that cover all sorts of stuff. I promise we find a whole handful you could submit, no matter what the genre. Oh, cool. That would be neat. Yeah, for a while I was trying to wake up early each morning and work on my writing. It feels nice to get started in the day and know that you've achieved something like that. Shop. What time do you stream? Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I did stream some today. Yeah, I watched a little bit. I lurked on your channel a bit today. What kind of camera are you using on Sketchbook? Which camera am I using? This is a Logitech. I forget. I have to look at the setting thing. Be sure it is a Logitech something. It's a HD ProCam webcam C920. Although I don't necessarily recommend it. I feel like it's not the best quality. It's kind of the lowest end that you can get. I would get the next, if I had to do over again, I would have gotten the next level up. Thanks for the PST, that's what I wanted to know. Got all that done. Cool. Yeah, how's, I know you were working on a project before, tatting something for your daughter's wedding. Is that wrapped up yet, or are you still working on that? It looked like you're doing something a little different today than what I saw previous times I'd tuned in. Oh, that's a long way to go. So a pretty big project, huh? You're getting ideas together. Cool. This has been pleasant, but I need to get to bed. Thanks for dropping in, Tom Kizzle. It was nice having you hang out and chatting about, and thanks for sharing your artwork. I'm looking forward to seeing you start your stream. And you should get your rest in before you start streaming, because you'll find it can be kind of addicting. Although I'm trying to stick to schedule tonight. I'm an hour in. I'm going to try to call it at 10. The other advantage of calling it early is that hopefully there will still be a lot of people to choose from to raid. Need to get back into drawing and painting. Yeah, I'd like to see your paintings. Imagine with a big project on your plate, though, you probably need to focus on the... Yep. Good night, Tom Kizzle. Kitsam was on earlier. I was watching his channel. He hasn't stopped in here. If he has, he's been lurking. He said he was about to go, and I think he had something. He was saying there was something he had to get to, so he may have signed off and had to move on. That's one of the tricky things when you raid, you feel obligated to kind of hang out for a while. It's like, what's the point of raiding if you're not going to see what the person's doing? But then you're there for a long time, and I've been up for hours because I raided somebody, and then I got really engrossed in what was happening in the stream and meeting people. Next thing I know, even though I'd gotten off my stream in a fairly reasonable time, the raiding kept me up all hours of the night. The padding takes time, just like our drawing. Watched his YouTube today. Oh, it was on YouTube. It was cool. People say hi, then they leave, which is okay. Oh no, you can dismiss yourself at any time. Yeah, well, I should. I know part of the thing is I think of, I don't know, usually I raid people who have a pretty, if somebody has a sizable audience, you don't have to worry about too much. It's like if you drop in somebody who has a small handful, or only if you're one of the only viewers, then you kind of want to support them and help them, keep them from dragging along the bottom of this great ocean that is Twitch. That spacing doesn't seem quite right now. I see it up there on the screen. It's kind of funny how you notice things a little bit differently looking at the screen sometimes than you see on the paper. I know Kid Thumbs mentioned that he works primarily off of the screen. There we go. Let's get that up to where we can see it. Turn the volume down as much as I can and watch a movie or work on my stuff here. Is that, are you talking about when you're lurking, or not sure I follow? Oh yeah, when you lurk. Yeah, it's a very different experience when you're following along and without the audio. You can kind of see it developing, you have a bit of idea of what's happening, but I've tried to follow multiple streams at once and to do it where I have just the audio on one in particular, but it can still take kind of a lot of energy to process, mental energy to sort out. Here's the last main thing I worked on in Graphite. Oh yeah, let's check it out. Here, I gotta see if I can copy the link. Oh, it's doing that again. Sorry, I get my launches in the other window. See if I can pull this up over here so you can see more of it. Oh wow, that's amazing. Wow, thanks for sharing. That is so cool. Am I following you? Yeah, I am following you. And here's all the tatting that you've been doing recently. Some really neat, intricate patterns. Like these. Let me go back and see the, oops. There we go. Wow, that is so cool. That is really neat. Dragonfly. The scales on that fish ought to be fun. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated. I will get to it though. I'm gonna do it. Just kind of working up to it. I'm trying to figure out what my methodology is here. Like I've talked in the past about trying to sort of do some balance and kind of work through. So right now I think what I'm doing, I started with the eyes and I'm working my way back. And I think getting some more detail on the head and then working into the scales would probably be the thing. That'll probably be about as far as I get today, if I do get through that. Oh, looks like Mrs. Kitten is off. I have to get to bed too. It's snowing where I live, so I'll need energy to shovel in the morning. Oh, wow. Well, good luck with that. I hope that you have a safe drive tomorrow if you're having to get the car out. Thanks for the compliment on the beta fish. I hope it's coming along. Appreciate that. Snow, huh? Oh yeah, I heard there's a big snowstorm in the east, northeast, I think. Yeah. Good night. Thanks for joining, Mrs. Kitten. We enjoyed your company and your input. I participate in the Inktober in October. It's fun. Just ink work. Cool. Yeah, I've thought about doing that. A bunch of my coworkers did Inktober this year, but I was kind of busy with some stuff and I wasn't able to do it. It is fun working with a prompt, especially when you're working with a group prompt. Yes, I'm in Pennsylvania. Oh, okay, yeah, so that's like in the middle of it. Well, wow, I must be tired. Just saw your rainbow unicorn on IG and saw it glows, and I almost went to cover, get this, my phone screen to see if it glowed in the dark. See if it glowed in the dark. Long day. I know how that is. I've had those moments for sure. No judgment here for sure. You see the Ninja Turtles. Is that on? Okay, now I'm gonna need to go back. Let's see. I think I didn't go far enough. I didn't go far enough back, I think. Okay. So. Oh, here's some more of the, is that graphite or is that pencil? Oh, the bunny's nice. Oh, there's the unicorn. Oh, neat. Oh, I like that owl. Oh, there's the, well, that's it when it was in progress, I see. I'm not finding the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. There's a caterpillar of some kind. Oh, I made it to the end too. I must have swept past it. These are all really cool. Right, back to work. Oh, I passed it, huh? Sorry. Momoji, the swaddled bat. Oh, you tagged me in the... Yeah, I'll check those out. I'm looking forward to that. Took about 40 kids today, and it was an excellent day for work. Probably my best ever. But it sure is draining. Oh yeah, working with kids for sure. 40 of them. Wow. You work with acrylic as well? Acrylic is the one thing I have not worked with. But I've been watching Russell Stewart does acrylic. I've been enjoying his acrylic paints. He does like mostly black and white paintings with acrylic, which is interesting. I hadn't thought of painting in black and white. OMG, I thought the fire alarm was going off. I was about to be so furious about having to go outside into the super cold. Whoops, I got the time signature in there. Whoops. There we go. Oh, wow. Very cool. And that's also black and white painting like what I was describing. Neat. Thanks for sharing. It looks so well blended. I would have thought that maybe there was some airbrush in there or something. I did paint with acrylic airbrush paints for a while. I forget, there were two kinds. There were opaque and then there were transparent, and I don't remember. I'm pretty sure one of them was acrylic. Layers. Oh, I forgot to go back. Sorry. That's the problem about popping between different scenes, is I forget what I'm doing. There we go, and we're back. Distracting me from the fish, yeah. I need to dive in and just do this. If I could just get the head kind of worked out, I'm gonna dive into those scales. The scales. I just, for some reason, I'm just not quite getting there. I've been working very gradually here. Feels like it's getting a little muddy in here. Might need to back it up a little bit with the eraser. I don't know. That's actually not. That's okay detail, I think. Yeah, I'm always surprised how I look up on the screen and it suddenly looks so different to me. You also use the screen? Yeah. Mine is basic and acrylic brands. For now anyways. You can see it at a distance that way. Oh, that's what it is. I see, thanks. Yeah. Okay. That explains a lot. think I need to kind of blend this in a little bit through here. Shouldn't be going all the way to black there. There we go. Yeah, that does. That's the difference. It's the ability to sort of pop back and see it. Yeah, that is actually pretty nice, being able to see. I think the change in angle helps a little bit too. I should probably be looking at it a little bit more square on as I'm working, I imagine now, though. Let's see. I don't know why I'm always judging as I'm working. I'm sitting there thinking, well, I thought this would go faster, or I thought I could have done this, that I'd get further. But then again, I've never done this drawing before, so how should I know how long it's going to take, right? And also each time, even if I had drawn it before, how would, you know, I'm always going to draw it differently. I'm developing, and hopefully I'm not drawing exactly the same every time, so. Tiny Pachyderm said, did you see the first progress pic of my hyena? Well, I did see the first picture you posted of it. It was just the face, though, and at least, unless I missed one, the first one I saw was the face of the hyena, and it was actually pretty developed. No, it was just in my story. Let me throw an image for 2 seconds. Okay. Oh yeah, I miss the stories usually. That's another place where I'm a little too old, like with my email and Slack work. People post stories on Instagram, and I'm like, what is this confangled thing? I should probably try posting a story sometime and see what I think. It's hilarious, and you'll see why I was so frustrated at first. Well, it'll probably be inspiring then to see, because you really developed it nicely after that. I'll watch for the link. Need to sharpen the pencil. All right, there we go. Oh, there we go. We got the link. Let me pull that up. Oh, I gotta remember to switch over. And don't let me forget to switch back. Okay. All right. But you start with that and you built up to quite a bit of detail, so let's see. Did you do that digitally onto it? How are these multiple tries here, or did you do that later? Oh no, I see that you really did build it up on that. Wow. Very cool. So what was happening here though? So you started here. Huh. Yeah, so you just built it up layer by layer. That is really cool. Thanks for sharing that. It's really cool being able to see your process. Let's remember to switch back. There we go. That drawn face was just to highlight the imagined face. I couldn't unsee from the first picture. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep going developing this guy's face here. See, there's kind of a that eye looks pretty slick. This one here. The mouth too, actually. Oh, thanks. The whole thing looks great, but beta mouths are such an interesting shape. Yeah. I'm almost seeing, like, when I look at mine, I'm almost like seeing like it's sticking its tongue out or something, but that's not it. It's like, let's see, there's something happening here. I'm not quite. Let's see. I need to be careful as I'm interfering with the lighting. What's happening down there? I want to like catch that shape, but just got my notification that my laptop shipped. Oh, congrats. That is exciting. Nothing quite as exciting as new equipment. Exciting for us because we'll get to see the stream improvements that are coming. My line's much lower here, but I feel like that's too low. This really is a bit more. Let's see, I'll just go ahead and indicate it through here. There we go. Feels a little bit more like a surface. Less nebulous. it to be a little brighter in here as it comes up, and especially as it leads up to here. It's interesting to see the difference that it makes to take the time to sort of build up the work a bit at a time. I had really been kind of rushing in a lot of my previous efforts. I think there's something to be said for kind of getting yourself to moving the pen and getting a certain pace going, but this is definitely a different level. You know, you're not going to achieve kind of results that the Kid Slam gets with just yeah, it's really hard to overcome that need for instant gratification. Yeah, that's part of it too. I mean, part of the thing was also I was thinking, like in some of the earlier streams I did, in fact, the one that was somehow erroneously rerunning or running as a rerun before I started now, I was doing a lot of Sharpie drawing, and I was drawing a lot of images in one stream. And my theory was that that'd be more entertaining to watch, you know, like the process of looking at a piece of paper and just seeing an image, you know, starting with nothing, having something, you know, appear there fairly quickly. I thought that'd be more entertaining than a lot of stuff. Then, you know, I thought it'd be more entertaining than, you know, what I would do otherwise if I were to spend a lot of time on it. But what I found was the more I did that, the more I was like, I wasn't as happy with the result, and then the things I liked the most. Yeah, so Gregory Peppo does that a lot too, and maybe that was a part of what was making me want to do that. I just love it when he does that. He just builds up, or he just, you know, cranks out the drawings, cranks out the characters. Like also I want to get to a place where you know, I'm capturing something, but also the way I'm styling it, that the art, like I'd like to create art where I'm applying a fair amount of style to it. And I don't know, like when I look at a lot of the stuff on Instagram, which can be a little discouraging sometimes, there's just so much really amazing stuff on Instagram that you think like, oh, you know, you feel like you could spend your whole lifetime trying to get to where, you know, to like barely get to the foot of where those people are at, you know. And but some of the ones that I really admire on there are things where somebody goes in there kind of quickly, a number of strokes produces something that really has a lot of like life to it. You get that, the sensation I'm talking about when you go over Instagram too much. Yeah, I actually would advise against spending too much time on Instagram, especially going through like the most popular channels, because there's a point where it gets to be almost like, I don't know, there's a certain degree where, you know, you're kind of informing your visual senses, seeing what other people are doing, but there's a point where, you know, I don't think it's necessarily healthy to be consuming too much of other people's art. At least I feel like I reached that point on Instagram, when you're just seeing hundreds of things, because, you know, each one of those pieces of work, just like, you know, the stuff we're doing here, somebody spent hours on it, or they spent many hours to get to where they could do it really fast. Like the ones I'm mentioning, they're so fast. And then you just see it in a flash, and in a second you see it, you know, and that's not that's not really how art should be experienced either. And it gives kind of a weird, impression when you're just seeing it being inundated with image after image that, like the YouTubeifying clickbaiting of fine art. Tiny Peckham said, I really like Twitch for art because you can watch it happen. Yeah, I agree. I've noticed, let's see what he also said. Yeah, exactly. You only see the polished, finished product. Yeah, and I've noticed when I'm on Instagram and I see art from people who I've been following, who have been watching on Twitch, I see them post something that I watched them create. The affinity that I have for it, the way I feel when I see it, is much stronger. There's something much more compelling about seeing a finished product of something that you were there for. Let's see, the shadow helps a little bit to see it. I'm missing a little bit of, there's lines in here. A little bit of lines. They're right along the tops of these highlights here. They're kind of zigzagging their way down. I don't know if that's working out as well, but one thing that's a little bit tricky about building up in layers like this, as opposed to sort of working out a section at a time, 100%. I'm forgetting what that's in reference to. My brain. I've got late night stream brain. Yeah, we're both there then, for sure. It's time to start putting these scales in. Oh, I know what I was saying. So I was saying when I'm building up, it's about feeling more affinity with a piece after you watch them. Okay, yeah, I remember that train of thought. So the thing about building these things up gradually instead of sort of just working across is that it's a little harder to track where I am in developing it, right? Like I can forget, like I've started on an area and I might forget, how much, whether I was just building up and then I was, am I finished with that area? Am I overworking something? It's a little harder to know. I guess I need to apply the methodologies I'm doing it right to be kind of mindful that, like, what I'm trying to do here is develop this part and work my way back. So hopefully this is more finished, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it is finished. That's the thing. the funny thing is I feel like I'm trying to get it so accurate, and then I look at it and I think, oh, that isn't all what's there. It's like I put lines in there that the brain could mistake for being about right, but it doesn't seem at all like it's tracking to what I'm seeing in the image. Oh well, I guess this is an inner monologue I should probably keep to myself. Like inner monologue. Oh no, I've ruined it. What am I doing? I should just stop now. Bring you guys along for the whole journey. I think the one thing that stuck with me after a bunch of art classes in high school many years ago was being taught to look 3 times more than you work. That's good advice, because our brains fill in all sorts of details. Yeah, that's actually really good advice. Thanks for sharing that. That's what I should do. Look at the reference and look at my own. Look at the moment of looking up at the screen and seeing the whole piece at once is a moment of looking, of really seeing the piece instead of just staying, nose down, nose at the grindstone. Yeah, it is kind of a delicate balance of trying to work with the brain filling in and trying to remember. Let's see. She had us all draw something on the projector, 1 grid box at a time, which was fun because it was like some famous artist's line drawing upside down, but we didn't see it all at once. Yeah, working with the grids are interesting. In fact, I'm planning. I think last time we were on, I was talking about the bigger portrait drawings I was going to do, and I was thinking of using grids, using a grid on that. I don't know if I want to do like a real fine grid, maybe just divide it into like 9 parts. But I feel like at the size I'm going to be working, I'm going to need to do something more than just going straight ahead and trying to draw that large. It's going to be so different from my usual scale. And seeing everyone in class, most of which had never drawn anything, make almost identical copies. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm always surprised when I see people don't consider themselves artists when they sit down and actually just try to follow the drawing by sight method. How much they're able to do. How well they're able to do. It was a great exercise for combating that I can't do that mentality. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about like I always say how, I think I was talking with Russell Stewart about Kit Slam's drawings, and he was saying he just couldn't believe how he does, how detailed they are, that he does those. And I was saying, well, I think it's just that he's not intimidated, he just dives in, and that's a big part of it, is just doing the work, those diving in and working through it, putting in the time is part of it, but just getting started is actually one of the biggest parts of it. If that isn't a metaphor for life, I'm not sure it is. Yeah, that's so true. So true. Absolutely. Yeah. I know, like, I've heard there's this one artist I really like. I haven't seen much of his stuff lately. I think he used to be more prolific in the past, and I'm not sure what he's doing now. But his site, what used to be, had something to do with like 404 errors. It was something 404. I can't remember it. But he did a lot of like programming art, and he did some of those. He did like it was a coffee table that was made completely from lining up dice, so it's kind of like a very digital effect. Anyway, I remember he said something to the effect that creating anything, any project you do, it's like house cleaning. And he was saying that if you just jump in and get started, you'll get it done. That's the main thing with anything, is just to get started, and then it sort of finishes itself to some extent. You get kind of engaged and the work just happens. Also, the breaking enormous tasks into tinier and tinier ones. Yeah, that's true too, because if you're looking at the whole picture or the whole job, you'll kind of freeze up. But if you just look at the small piece that's in front of you, a little hairy in there. It's also often the key to dog training, or I guess any animal training, breaking into smaller steps. Yeah, that's interesting. About I need to figure that out with my kids for getting ready in the morning. Maybe breaking things down in smaller steps could help. Appreciate that I made a comment about animal training and immediately went to your kids. Actually, part of the reason why I didn't think about that is I read a book a little while ago. It was written by the lady that developed the method that they used at the doctor that she was a animal trainer at SeaWorld, I think, or one of those. And they came up with, she essentially developed the method that is clicker training, and they use it with kids too, like in gymnastics. It's essentially it's all based on like positive reinforcement, and the idea that that you sort of give them a stimuli, something that that focuses their attention and rewards them for what they're doing. Anyway, that is that's actually what I've used, particularly trying to get the kids out the door in the morning. It can be quite a monumental task to get kids ready, especially since I tend to watch TV or play video games for a little bit and getting them off of that after they get themselves ready. Well, that was what I used to get them to get ready, was to watch TV. So they get all ready and they sit down and watch TV, and then it's really hard to get them to leave because getting them out the door is the part that, anyway, clicker training, positivity. Karen Pryor. That's right. That's exactly right. Karen Pryor. I have a Karen Pryor clicker sitting next to me right now. Sounds like you're doing it right. I'm happy I only have to convince my dog to poop. Yeah. Yeah, Karen Pryor, that's exactly it. It was a pretty good book. You know, the funny thing is, the thing that actually worked the most, I've tried like treats and stuff, the thing that worked the most was sort of abstract. I would tell them that they got stars, and I would tell them they were, well, they weren't like stars like in a, not like star stickers. I would actually tell them that they got like one of the stars, like I was assigning one of the stars in the sky to them. And then I was trying to memorize stars at the time, so I'd usually name the star that I was giving them. And that worked for quite a while, and they seemed to really dig that. You should check out Animals in Transition if you ever have the time and want something fascinating and insightful. Stars idea is great. Thanks. Animals in Transition. Let me write that down real quick. Animals in Transition. I'll definitely check that out. Thanks. It's always good to get recommendations. All right, I'm coming down to the last 5 minutes. Oh, which means I'm probably at the end of the time altogether, because this is the time when we need the time to, let's see, I don't know, I could keep going a little bit longer, but oh, and I started a little late, so I'll keep going until 10 o'clock, and we don't have a huge crew for doing a raid, but we got, as long as we have more than 2, that's the requirement in the achievement. They're trying to get us to raid more. Animal Transition by Temple Grandin. I've heard about her. I think there was a movie about her, actually. So is that a book that was actually by her? Well, obviously by Temple Grandin. Yes. I still haven't seen that movie, but I'm meaning to check it out. Haha. Animal behavior through the lens of autism. Haha, good work. Alright, I'm gonna work through these scales, try to get them lined up in between each other so that they have the right alternating pattern effect. Anyway, hopefully if we have a couple people, we'll do a raid, and then I'm going to see if I can make it, seeing if you guys dig it or not. I was thinking it would be fun to have it be just a part of the tradition at the end of the stream to see if I can beat my last time on the Rubik's Cube. I don't know. Somebody said it was flexing on KidSlam's feed when we did it, but I think it's fun. And also, I got a little bit of hype on it. Russell enjoyed it. Rubik's Cubes are magic to me. Cool. All right. So if you're down, I'm definitely down. We'll see if I can beat that time. I know there's like a way to make sense. There's a way it makes sense, but that's for other sorcerers to figure out, not me. It's actually really satisfying once you get. At first, when you're learning it, you have to like memorize the algorithms, but once you work through it, it gets to be just muscle memory, and you don't even really think about the algorithms anymore, and it just sort of happens. Your brain just sort of reacts to the situations, and it's fun. Okay. Boy, that ended up looking way more uniform than I intended it to, but that's okay. I will, I probably will just use that as a base, and then tomorrow I'll do, or next time, I mean, Wednesday, I'll hit more of the highlights from it. All right, that's good. That's a start. All right, I'm gonna go grab the Rubik's Cube, and then we'll do that. I'll be right back. All right, here I am. All right, let's see. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. So and I will get the timer going. Oh, we gotta take bets though. What do people think? What do we think this is going to take? Oh, thanks, BJ White. I appreciate that. Making some progress, I hope. I think I've slowed down a lot. I'm trying to apply what I'm learning from watching KidSlam, and I feel like it's one of the more involved pieces I've done. The other black and white ones I did went a little faster. But I don't even know to be able to answer that question. You mean you don't know how to guess? Oh, that's right. You weren't here last time when I did the Rubik's Cube. Okay. All right. So, wait, that's not it. Stopwatch. There we go. It's like you asked how many flim-flams to scrape the twist box. Well, that's easy, you know. How many? At least 4 flim-flams go into a squig. So if they're, 3 squigs per side, then seconds, minutes, moves. Yeah, we're gonna be guessing minutes, and I'll help you out and let you know that I think my average is 3 minutes. But if I make a mistake, it could take a lot longer. So I think the way the rules work in a tournament is that you get a minute to inspect it, or you can look at it. I think they do have a time limit for how long you can inspect it, but I'm just gonna give myself a moment to sort of identify the main parts, and then I'm gonna go. So I'm just going to go now. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to do that. And that. Oops, there we go. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. Let's see. There we go. One more side there. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, wait. There we go. Done. So minute 19 this time. That was a little better than last time. All right. So like the Bobby Fischer Rubik's cubes. Actually, I think like the world record is like 6 seconds, and I'm way out there now. Oh, thanks. Oh, what did you guess? 321. Guessing 321. Well, thanks for putting out a good number that I could actually beat. Unlike last time when the only person who guessed guessed I was gonna do way better than I did. So actually wait, that's the wrong view. We want to figure out who we are rating. So if anybody has an idea, I'm gonna pause the music. And let's see who's on. So there's Gregory, Rural Games, Morwick. Oh, Critter Art. Let's return the favor for Critter Art because he rated me once before, and it'd be cool to see what he's up to. Am I thinking of the right person? Yeah, Bobby Fischer was a chess champion. Well, when it was just you on the screen, I felt like I was in Star Trek. I don't even know if I could do sub 2 minute popping the stickers off. Okay. Where am I? We're going to Critter Art. All right. So, you know what we need to do is we have to get the, let me see. I actually have to pull up another stream so I can participate in the, I'm gonna pause that. Actually, is that gonna mess me up from getting the thing? We need to work out our RAID. The RAID signal is subcreation radiation. So let me see if I can get that figured out. Yeah, thanks for jumping in, BJ White. It's been fun having you here. Okay, so subcreation RAID, all caps, creation. But I need, what is the RAID? What is the RAID emote? RAID. There it is. RAID. Okay, so like 3 of those maybe before and after. So I'll put that out and let's try that. All right, is everybody, just go ahead and copy that. I think the Twitch RAID symbol is available to everybody. And so when we get in there, everybody do it a couple times because there are only a few of us. All right, get it ready and I will go ahead and raid. All right, thanks for joining me tonight. Had a lot of fun. It was great chatting with you guys. and I'll see you on Wednesday if you are around then. Thanks. I had a good time with you guys.